Okay, so now we're going to move on to the body. I've got my O-comb on my clippers. I'm going to start here at the back of his head and neck. So for him, he's a very well-behaved good boy. I feel comfortable taking the noose or grooming loop off of him and just holding him while I do this. So I'm going to start right here at the back of the head and move down, kind of the same as when we did the bathing. I'm going to start at the highest point and move down. And we're always going to go with the lay of the hair here and just gently go over all of our parts. And I'm going to just gently pull his ear part out of the way so I don't risk clippering it. So right here at the back of the ear, I'm going to come down this neck and right into my shoulder and leg. Watch how the hair grows and lays. You want to make sure you're moving your clipper in the direction of the hair growth. And then I'm going to lift his little chin, feel and make sure I don't have any skin flaps that can get in between the blades of my foot comb, and come right down this part of his neck, right to the front of those legs and chest. And I can kind of scoop in at the top of the front legs and gently come between the front legs a little bit to start setting some of that hair off. And now that I have his neck, shoulders, and chest done, I can go ahead and put my loop back on for safety. At this point, if I have a dog that has really long ears and I'm worried about them getting cut if they're down by the legs, I can just sort of gently tuck them into my grooming loop right here. And without doing it too tight and still fit 2 fingers in there, I'm holding his ears up out of the way. Now when I clip her legs, I'm going to gently take one leg forward towards me and start coming down the top half first. Not pressing too hard. All these little bones and knuckles and things in there, you don't want to be pressing so hard that the metal part of your clip comb is hitting that. It's going to be very uncomfortable for them. And same thing here on the elbow. A lot of dogs flinch around this area because groomers aren't taking the moment to go slowly over that elbow, and they're hitting it with their metal clipper. And the dog over time just learns that that's going to hurt and reacts. And then we're standing there going, hey, hold still. Why are you being naughty? But they're not. They're just been trained that that's going to be an uncomfortable feeling or hurt. Paying attention to where my flap of skin is here on my elbow. I want to make sure I'm not getting close to that and catching it into my clippers. I'm going to start pulling some of that armpit hair back and just gently coming right down the top half of that leg. Now that I've got the top half done, I'm going to switch and I'm going to put my hand behind the elbow into his armpit and hold the leg towards me this way gently. And that's going to give me free rein to do the entire bottom half of this leg. He got a little bit worried. He stood up, thinking about maybe trying to leave. But instead of pulling on him or reacting to that, I just stayed doing what I was doing with a nice, soft, gentle hand. And then he stayed instead. Okay, buddy. Alright, same thing on this leg. I'll hold it gently by the foot. I'm letting him tell me how far I can pull his leg forward. I don't want to overextend it or make him uncomfortable or hurt him. Dogs don't just get arthritis in their back legs, they can get it in the front as well, in their elbows and shoulders. So be aware of what they're telling you, if they're comfortable or not. They will tell you, even if they don't have words. He's young and healthy, he's got a lot of range of motion. So he's let me pull it out pretty far. Top half is done. Switch to that elbow armpit hold and get the bottom half of this leg and foot clippered. And we're just setting the length here. We don't have to spend too much time making sure it's absolutely perfect. We're just setting the length and then we're going to go back and scissor. Alright, so my front legs are done. Now I'm going to do his belly and sides a little bit. And on him, he's comfortable and healthy to be able to be stood up in the front. So I'm going to stand him up and just come right down this tummy. Now, if you're having a hard time picking up the hair on the tummy, or their coat is not even, it's very kind of like swirly, you can reverse from here to the armpits with the same blade. It will make the hair a little bit shorter. No one's ever going to notice that, and it's going to give you a nice, clean, tidy, perfect tummy line to work with afterwards. All right, tummy's done. Now we're going to start coming down from the shoulders, down the back, the sides, and then we'll do this back leg. When I go over the top line of my dog, or the top part of the back, I don't just go with the coat this way. You can see how little hair that took off. I put it in the center, and as I run my clipper forwards, I give it this little twist motion. And I'm not going against the grain, but I'm just twisting, and it allows me to pick up a little bit more of the hair on that back, because it can be hard to pick up that hair. The other note I want to make on the back here is some dogs, as they get older, their spine is sticking up and you can feel the bones along the spine. It's not very comfortable to them to have this metal clip comb run over the bones of the spine. So if that's the case, I will gently pull the skin to the side and get that area, and then let it go back to center. And then I'm not having to run my clipper over the bone area. And I can do that from both sides to get a nice smooth top line without worrying about their little bones sticking up. Same thing goes for some of our poodles. These two hip bones here tend to stick out, especially as they get older, and we don't want to be hitting those hip bones as we're clippering. So you can just slide the skin over off of the bone, clipper it, and let it slide back. And so we're just going with the lay of the hair. If you're running into clipper marks here in this area because of the way the hair lays so flat, instead of just going with the lay of the hair, you can turn your clipper slightly sideways. We're not going completely sideways, just not straight down. It's like halfway, and then your clip comb will pick up any of those little hairs that was missing and give you a nice smooth cut coming down the side. Alright, and now we're going to get this back leg. I want to be really conscious of where my tail starts so I don't cut into my tail. I'm just going to come right down the side of the tail here, and as I do this back leg, I'm kind of turning my clipper towards me so that I pick up that back leg hair without coming down and hitting the hawk. Now, a big tip for these back legs, it's really hard to get in here. We've got a flap of skin here at the flank that we don't want to catch, and this is kind of an awkward spot. So what I do is put my hand around the entire leg and gently roll the skin towards me, and then come down this edge. And you can hold it rolled all the way, clipper all the way down to the toe. And when you put it back, your inside line is clippered really nicely without having to try to get in there. So again, you're just gently gripping that, rolling the skin towards you. Sorry, buddy. And clippering down. I'm going to switch over out of the way here. And I'm going to lift a little bit. Just get from the hawk to my nail. Again, not perfection, just setting a length there so I know with my scissors. And then the last little trick on this is to get the hair on the inside of this opposite back leg. I'm going to lift the leg that's on my side gently out of the way. You can hold the tail out of the way with the same hand. And I'm going to do the same comb I've been using and just reverse it from the hawk up. You can be careful and aware of where the tip of your teeth are going, but you can get this little area right here up to where you kind of did your sanitary. And it's going to take a lot of that hair out. No one's ever going to notice it's a little shorter than the rest. It'll keep them from getting matted in there sooner and clean it up so you do a lot less scissor work at the end. So that's this side of him. You get a little more on this thigh. He's got kind of wavy hair, so I'm having to kind of change the direction slightly on my clipper as I run it over the coat to pick up all those swirls that he has in his coat. I think that looks pretty good. We'll do the other side of him. Good boy, great boy. And again, this side doesn't look perfect to me. I'm having trouble picking up the hairs. So instead of just going straight down, I'm going to turn my blade ever so slightly, like 1 degree towards me sideways. and go back over it, and it's going to pick up those extra hairs that I was having trouble getting and give me a little bit smoother cut on that side. Okay, same thing, I'll move my tail out of the way and kind of pull this butt cheek and the back of the leg hair towards the front of the thigh as I clip her. And then again, I'm going to take this skin here, roll it towards me just a little bit, and get that inner thigh area here at the knee nice and clean.